doggonehousefire.com. Sole survivor. I lost my other dogs. They're up on the hill, buried in the grave. Had a high fire in November. Extensively caught on fire. We seen smoke rolling out. We called 911, and they called us back about 10 minutes later. Said, "Where do you live at?" And I said, "What?" "Well, just send all the fire department." "Who's your fire department?" I said, "Well, it was French Village, but evidently now that I found out, it's Belleville. They changed my fire department without even notifying me or the 911 operator. The 911 operator sent the fire department to the wrong house. And then they sent the second crew out, and when they came down this highway, they didn't even know where the fire hydrant was. I had to show them where the fire hydrant. They circled around twice before they found the fire hydrant. I had to show them where it was at. They finally got the hose hooked up. It was at least 25 to 35 minutes before they got any water on it. I went in the house. I had dogs in there. There was only about this much air left. I crawled in. I had a fire extinguisher. I put the flames out. I come out. I couldn't gasp for air. So it started flaming back up. So I went back in the second time, put the fire back out again. The fire was out. There was no flame. It was still hot, and the house was full of smoke. I opened the doors. That's a mistake. Don't ever open the doors when you got a house fire. It lets air in and boosts the fire up. Mistake I made. But I was wanting to go in there to save my dogs. So I went in with the fire hose, the water hose, and I'm putting the fire out with the water hose now because it reignited. I'm using the hose now, and then I guess when the other fire truck hooked on to the fire hydrant and they turned the water pressure on, my pressure went down to nothing. So my only defense was the water I had, and it went down to nothing. Then the second truck came, and they finally got the thing out. And you know, I had rabbits in here in this part of the house in the cage, so I ran in there and got the cage with the mama. And the fire department wouldn't even save my rabbits. They held me back and said I couldn't go in, that they would go in and get them. And I kept telling them, "Go in and get my rabbits. Go in and get my rabbits." They wouldn't save my rabbits. They let them die. They let the rabbits die. And then shortly after that, they came out with the investigation questions like they always do. I've never been in a fire, never been in a fire investigation, but you know, they ask you the questions. Is anything funny going on? Did you have any candles burning? These type of questions. And I said, yeah, that lady down here from Greenspace or Greenpeace that owns the land next to me, St. Clair County Greenspace or Greenpeace, she come down here and was laughing at us about our house burning. And we both are disabled. You know, this is our home. We have 2 kids. You know, I've done everything I can to try to help this house get along. I've talked to the code inspector, Paul, and he said everything was good. Just get a permit when I'm ready. And now he's saying that he came out a couple times and gave us 30 days, and we didn't acknowledge it. Then in November they came out, wanted to come in and inspect for hazardous material, and said they had the house set for demolition. I've never been served any papers. I said, "Let me see the papers." They threw the papers down on the car. The police officer says, "Yeah, there they are." So I start reading. I get 1 or 2 lines read, and she jerks them out from underneath me and says, "That's it, we're going in." I said, "Well, give me a copy of them papers. I have never seen them things. What is going on?" So they said, "Well, you can get a copy down there at the lawyer's office." And I was so distraught. They went in, they came out with a little ceiling tile or whatever, and said there was some propane tanks in there. And you know, the fire investigation, Red Cross put us up for a weekend, and the church was helping us out. Same thing with the church was helping us out with the negotiations with the permit and stuff. And the scouts had a pancake breakfast, donated $1,000. I spent all of it at Habitat for Humanity. Bought windows, doors, wire, and switch, things that I needed, things I could get done. Paint. I put 35 gallons of paint on this house. I got the windows for all these doors to come down this spring. I bred this dog. I got puppies for sale. I'm using that money to buy my permit. And now they're saying, "Oh, I'm tearing it down. You got 3 weeks to get this stuff out if you want it. Get it out now." And that was, a couple weeks back. So, I'm down to a few days. This is a plea for the community to help save my home. It's all I got. I got it from Lutheran Social Services. It's God's house. It's not my house, it's my children's house. I can't sell this house. This ain't a commodity. This is a house that was given to me by God. And I tell you what, the Mother of Protectual Help is in there, and she saved it from burning to the ground. And I'll tell you what, I can fix this house up. I need help. I can find a way. I just need time. I need somebody to come forward and help me fight the City Hall, because their laws aren't just. It's unfair for them to treat a family like this. Someone that's disabled, someone that's poor, someone that's been robbed. This house here, that they set it for demolition. It's the only house that I'll ever have. It's my dream home. When I first came here, this thing was all grown up with trees. The house was worse shaped than it is now. And, we've seen red-headed woodpeckers out here, deer run through the back. We got frogs down here in the creek that I take care of, and squirrels and what have you, This tree here died from the thing. We planted all these trees here, and the neighbors over here, they're good neighbors. Something like that can happen to you. That's why everybody needs to step forward. I painted all this. Swimming pool, one of the trees fell down in there, broke the hoe. The highway noise is real loud in the winter, but other than that, it's a great house to live here on the hill. We're kind of secluded, and we have our privacy. All these woods for the kids to play on and what have you. I'm afraid that what they're going to do is tear down the house, charge me to tear it down. How do they expect me to pay that? How do taxpayers expect me to pay that if they can't expect me to fix the house up fast enough for them to get it? Because I'm working on getting the house fixed. It can be fixed. My children live here. They need to go to school. I probably have to be relocated. I can't pay rent. We was barely making what we had on staying here without no rent. We can't pay rent and bills too. There's no way that we can make it. We figured it out. We can't make it. So, this is my plea to call on everybody in the community to talk to the judge, McCormick. He's the one that signed the paper on it. Talk to him. Get a lawyer down there. Stop the demolition. My house is worth saving. I'm a family. I'm a good person. I'm a Boy Scout. My son's a Boy Scout. My kids are going to be scarred from this for the rest of their life. When I die, this house can't be sold. It's willed to them. So it's the children's house. It's not just my house. It's the children's house. It's God's house. Please help me save my house. I live it too, You have to be a living person to be a scout. You can't just put on a uniform and call yourself a scout. You have to go out and help the community. Where's the community at for me? Where's my life going to be if my house gets tore down? These businesses come in, they get grants and money. Oh, look at Eckert's, how much money they got. Look at them down the street. They're tearing this building down here, $159,000. And here I don't even have no sidewalks or street. All the taxpayer money I don't get no service for that. No street lights, no sidewalks, but he can spend $250,000 over here to put in a couple trees, to put a Greenspace in down here at the corner at that house over there on the newspaper, and then the newspaper on the news. But okay, nobody can help me out. I'm an American citizen. And everybody says the American dream. Where's my American dream at? God gives me a house. Yeah, the devil catches it on fire, or somebody burned it or whatever. But where's my dream at? Where's my help? I can be reached at 618-541-7591. And my website is Gmail. DoggoneHouseFire.com. I lost my house, dogs in the house, and that's why I use that. DoggoneHouseFire.com. That's what be my Gmail for the rest of my life, no matter what. You can always get a hold of me for how many ever years I live. Call me, donate on First Bank, special account for the house. you want to call and donate, call the bank, donate if you can. And you know, I can't handle this no more. I can go on and on about it, but you know, it's tearing my heart up too much. You know, I'm having chest pains over this, and it's devastating me. It's devastating me. So please help. Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for talking. Talking is big. And what you feel in your heart and what is good for you is good for me. So if it's bad for me, it's bad for you. If something like this happens to you, you could be in my same shoes. You know, your house could go up. You know?